Crawford, nobody told Crawford to say anything. Crawford's his own man doing his own thing, and that's how he feels. And we'll see how this thing plays out in the next couple of years.
Dana White has made his position very clear in the ongoing conflict between Terence Crawford and the boxing establishment. He has openly shut down the rumors claiming that Crawford refused to pay a $300,000 sanctioning fee because of some UFC planned storyline. According to Dana, Crawford made that decision entirely on his own, and his rebellion is completely real. This isn't just a fight about a belt. It is a direct attack on the entire boxing system. After defeating Canelo, Crawford refused to pay the WBC's $300,000 fee. He realized he was being asked to rent his legacy instead of earn it. In response, the WBC stripped him of the title, creating a situation where the official champion is no longer the best fighter in the world. Crawford fired back with a furious Instagram rant, telling WBC President Mauricio Suleiman to keep the belt and calling the title nothing more than a trophy. He even pointed out that the prestigious Ring magazine belt is completely free, proving that he has grown bigger than the organizations that once validated fighters.
And guess what? It's free! It's free! How you love that? $180,000 free. How much your belt cost? I wonder how much your belt cost. Huh? I don't see no receipts on your belt. It's crazy. Y'all be having so much taxes on these belts. You got some nerves. It's crazy that you can sit up there and have all these belts. You know, you got the WBC silver, the WBA intern, the whatever belt y'all got, and you taxing these fighters every time they fight, and you claim that you for these fighters. You're not for these fighters. You probably worse than the promoters. But hey, I wish you the best.
While boxing leaders scrambled to control the damage, Dana White appeared at the UFC 323 post-fight press conference looking unusually confident. On December 6th, reporters immediately questioned him about the situation. Rumors had been spreading for days that Dana and his partners at TKO were influencing Crawford, encouraging him to rebel and shake up the boxing world.
Turkey, I hope y'all get that done, man. I hope y'all get that done so we can all see, people face like this guy, go away from boxing because they ruin the sport with all these antics that they do. They got they ranking systems when people be mandatories for years, like Benavidez. They don't strip these fighters, but I give credit to the IBF. They stripped me. They ain't even give me time. They stripped me, pop me, even though I wasn't, coming back down the weight, but, they handled their business. They did what they were supposed to do. The WBC, you ain't never see them strip no Canelo for the Benavidez. He was what, mandatory for like 2 years? It's crazy. But, that's that favoritism shit.
Dana didn't back away from the topic. Instead, he clarified one key detail. He said firmly, nobody told Crawford to say anything. Crawford is his own man doing his own thing, and that's how he feels, but listen to what Dana didn't say. He never criticized Crawford. He didn't treat the outburst as unprofessional. Instead, he supported it. For years, Dana has argued that boxing system is broken. And now the best boxer in the world is proving him right in front of millions. His smile said everything. The UFC doesn't charge sanctioning fees, and fighters are starting to notice.
Boxing's starting to fall apart. Once there was so much money involved and it got so big, guys started ducking other guys. Then you got the sanctioning bodies in there. We think this guy's the champ. We think this guy's the champ. And then none of those guys would fight each other. That's when it all started to fall apart and break.
Things then took a deeper turn. In the same press conference, Dana made a cryptic comment about the Ali Act, the federal law meant to protect boxers from abusive promoters. He called today's boxing promoters hypocrites, saying, "I love that all these boxing guys love the Ali Act the way it is now. I guarantee you they won't stay there."
What did you think of the WBC stripping Terence Crawford of his belt?
Listen, if you look at how this thing's playing out, and first of all, let me say this. I love that all these guys, all these boxing guys love the Ali Act the way it is now. I want to see how many of them actually stay there and do that version of the Ali Act instead of the add-on that we're going to do. You know what I mean? You don't have to be a fucking rocket scientist to see what's going on with all these guys. They're all these guys that are crying the loudest are the fucking problems. They're the problem, every one of these guys. And, Crawford, nobody told Crawford to say anything. Crawford's his own man doing his own thing, and that's how he feels. And we'll see how this thing plays out in the next couple of years.
Are you surprised by this frosty reception from the other boxing promoters?
No, not at all. Not at all. But here's the thing that's great for fighters is that.
What does that mean? Dana is hinting that the people shouting about fighter protection are the same ones draining fighters with endless fees, commissions, and sanctioning costs. He's suggesting that boxing structure doesn't protect athletes, it exploits them. By standing behind Crawford's refusal to pay the fee, Dana is exposing a major flaw in the sport. Everyone gets paid before the fighter does, the sanctioning bodies, the promoters, the managers. Dana's warning was clear: as the boxing business changes, these old school promoters will run the moment the system stops making them money.
They have options, you know? All these promoters are saying the Ali Act is perfect and this is the way it should be. I want to see them all stay in it. I want every one of them to stay in the Ali Act as it is now for the next however many years. Right. I fucking guarantee you they won't.
To understand the full picture, we have to address Zuffa boxing. Crawford isn't locked into a long-term deal with Zuffa, the boxing branch of the UFC's parent company, but his fight with Canelo was promoted under that banner with support from Turki Al-Sheikh. This puts Crawford directly in the center of a new era of boxing, backed by huge money and zero tolerance for outdated traditions. The popular theory behind the scenes is that this entire situation is a stress test. If a superstar like Crawford refuses to pay sanctioning fees and loses nothing in popularity or earnings, the sanctioning bodies lose their power. If Zuffa and TKO can promote mega fights without needing the WBC's approval or their green belt, then the WBC becomes irrelevant. Dana White isn't just defending Crawford. He's watching the possible collapse of his competition's business model. He didn't need to tell Crawford what to say because in the new system Zuffa is building, fighters are finally realizing they don't need three-letter organizations to sell pay-per-views.
You wind up putting it right back into the sport, and then an even bigger one comes along, and you just signed a rights package for $7.7 billion for the UFC. We're talking about NFL, NBA, MLB type numbers starting to get into that territory, rights deals that boxing has never had. Do you think it's possible to build a boxing business to that kind of scale?
That's the plan, and you're absolutely right. It's one of my when I think about the boxing guys, all the boxing guys, all these guys that talk smack and all the dumb stuff that's said, these guys have been in the business for 100 years and none of them have done anything. I've never seen a business where there's been trillions of dollars in revenue and at the end of the day there's nothing there because none of them reinvested in the sport of boxing. Every time they put on an event, it's a going out of business sale. We have reinvested hundreds of millions of dollars into the sport of MMA and into the UFC. And yes, we will do the same with boxing.
I mean, it is just regrettable. Not even a thank you or I'm sorry, taking a different route. No response. I wish him the best. But this is not. The WBC is huge. It's great. It's about greatness. And I'm relieved, to tell you the truth.
So yeah, you got it over with and you immediately came back with a solution, which is going to be a fight for the vacant title. Hamza Shiraz against Christian Mbele, who we just saw on the Canelo Crawford undercard in that great fight against Lester Martinez. and you put Lester Martinez in position to fight the winner.
Absolutely.
You feel like that's an adequate response? Like this is going to be an entertaining thing for the fight fans?
Yes, it's a great fight, and Billy is very entertaining. He comes forward. Hamza Shiraz just had the best fight of his career, knocking out Berlanga dramatically in New York.
Yeah.
And Lester Martinez had an unbelievable fight with Mbili. He's going to fight the winner. So there's great movement. Whenever Canelo is ready, after his surgery, when he's recovered, he's in the mix. And we have other fighters fighting. So it's going to be great activity in that.
The money-making schemes at the end of the day. I personally, listen, anybody that's listened to any of my stuff going forward, I think we could do without sanctioning bodies. I think we could all move forward with just having one champion, one per division. I know that people will come up to me and say, well, more opportunities when there's more belts and all this type of stuff. But at the end of the day, if we get boxing right, opportunities will fall for people. If the WBC played along with their own rules all the time, to the letter, I would probably sit here and have a different opinion, but they don't. They make things up as they go along. For example, the Conor Benn scenario, right? He failed a drug test as per the clean boxing program, which is run by the WBC. The WBC provide Ben with an alternative reason to the one that he gave them, because the one that he gave, if it is true, would open up the WBC to litigation of every single fighter that has ever failed a test and served the ban under the clean boxing program. Conor Benn told them that there was a flaw in the testing process. They said that that's nonsense, so therefore they provided him the excuse of eating too many eggs. Conor Benn never came up with that excuse. That was a WBC reasoning. Also, we've seen this week alone, the WBC 140-pound champion, Subriel Matias. He's failed a drug test. Instead of cancelling an upcoming fight with Dalton Smith, which is coming up in January, he's been allowed to continue because the WBC don't operate strict liability. In 2019, this is an important part of this story. In 2019, a 28-year-old fighter called Maxime Dadyshev died as a result of injuries sustained in a fight with Subriel Matias. This should be investigated massively off the back of the news of him failing a drug test in recent times. Here's the best one, and this has only happened in the last 2 days.